with everything that has happened in the past week, I honestly cannot call Ashes of Creation anything but a cult at this point. I feel that we are forgiving Ashes of Creation so many things that in any other game, people would instantaneously be mad, leaving it, or flat out blatantly calling it a scam. But in Ashes Creation, don't worry about it. It's just an alpha. They're gonna add it after 10 or 20 years, honestly. And now there have been so many things that happened. The Narc video, Asmongold talking with Steven, the main guy behind this game, and now Pirate Software is giving his opinion, and I honestly think Pirate Software's opinion is by far the worst and forgiving and damaging. So let's hear it.
The Narc video and think that the desert looks flat and shit. Because I know that that is one of the most bombastic claims from the video that people are like, oh my god, the desert looks terrible, right? How many of you guys saw that and you haven't seen the actual desert?
An empty wasteland that could be generated in Unreal Engine 5 in seconds, with the Winstead and Mirrorleth nodes being copy-pasted onto them, slightly rotated.
This is the beginning of the desert. So as you transition into this space, you can see kind of this whole area down here. This is like none % of it. They're going to have a whole bunch of stuff outside of that. This is what the desert actually looks like. It doesn't look like Narc's video. Nowhere in Narc's video looks like that, because that's either pre-alpha footage or from the PTR. And this isn't even half of it. We're going to go through the whole thing so I can show you unequivocally that none of it looks like that. What is PTR? Public test realm. It's actually internal test.
Okay, so first of all, the way he expresses his opinion here is already kind of honestly disingenuous in my opinion. But then again, Narc's video also is disingenuous, so of any side you are on, honestly, here, you're probably wrong at least about something. So first of all, this is the thing. When Narc explained himself, there were more issues that he's not mentioning here, but that honestly doesn't matter. We can forget about it currently. But he is right about one thing. This is 1/1000th of what the desert is effectively going to be. And keep that in mind, because I'm going to make this whole Ashes of Creation situation even worse when we're talking about scale and finished product and whatnot, okay? But yeah, this is the desert. But the problem that I had after watching Narc's video, even after if I agree that Narc actually misrepresented how the desert looks and all of those things, even then, I still think this is extremely bad. Because this was supposed to be ready already 2 years ago, and this is what they gave you. This is what they gave you for $150 to $250-ish or however much that thing costs. This is all that they gave you. Something that effectively was ready 2 years ago or however long ago the desert was previewed in that sense. And then they added these parts right here. You see this part of the desert, which is actually nothing. There is nothing there. It's just dunes. So, effectively, when you say the desert doesn't exist, you're technically right, because this is only 1/100th of what the desert is supposed to be. But at the same time, you're wrong, because, well, this is the desert and it does exist. But there's nothing really new here, which makes this conversation so much stupider and more complicated to talk about. But I feel that saying that, oh no, this is actually the desert, it exists, bro, is kind of damaging, because no sane person is going to be looking at this and saying, oh yeah, this is a great representation of the desert. It exists. Can you mine stuff here? No. Can you chop trees? No. Can you do quests? No. Can you interact with anything? Well, there's a bunch of creatures there, and that's pretty much it, and nothing else really. Is there anything to do in the desert? No. Yep, that's how it is technically currently. Now, admittedly, if making this video, maybe something has changed and maybe you can chop down a tree, who honestly knows. But this is how stupid and complex the situation is.
So I can show you unequivocally that none of it looks like that. What is PTR? Public test realm. It's actually internal test. I don't know why. I mean, he's mad at the game. He doesn't like the game, but he's being dishonest when he shows that and says that the game looks like that, because it doesn't. It looks like this. Like, look how freaking awesome this place looks.
Again, saying that is disingenuous, because this is something that the game effectively looked like, I don't know, a year? 2 years, maybe, when we first saw glimpses of the desert and what it's supposed to look like. So nothing new has been added, which is a very big thing. Second of all, when we heard Asmongold talk with Steven, the guy behind this, like, my god, are people just gonna blatantly ignore the fact that that guy said, hey, I could sue Narc and destroy his life, but I'm not gonna do it? Which is blatantly not even that much of a veiled threat, in my opinion. I think a lot of people can easily agree that if you're not gonna sue someone, then don't mention suing them at all. The only reason why you would mention that you can sue them is to intimidate them. I think a lot of people can easily agree with that. At least that's what I think. There is no other reason to say that than just intimidation. And if any other game did this, by the way, people would be fucking furious. People would be calling that person out who said that, and people would be mad. But with Ashes of It Creation, people are just completely looking past this. And I mean, he says he can sue it. That's true, but what can he sue him for? What did he say? Defamation or something like that? Good luck winning that. I think Steven is smart enough of a person with enough experience to know that there's no fucking way in hell he can sue Narc for defamation and actually win it. He can just sue him to ruin his life, and that most likely, again, in my opinion, is the objective of that. Second of all, Steven tried to actually poison the conversation and say that, oh, Narc is a YouTuber, he just wants more views. So he obviously did this video just to get more views. So, first of all, like fucking hell that anyone could have actually predicted that his video is gonna blow up as it actually did. And second of all, are you kidding me, Steven? The guy whose whole fucking channel, whose whole livelihood is literally based around Ash's creation, is gonna take a little bit of more views than on average, and then lose his whole thing, how he gets money in the first place, because he's saying he's gonna step away from Ashes of Creation? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That just sounds also disingenuous. And everyone's just forgiving this. I think that's insane. Any other game does this, they get fucking dragged through the mud. Their reputation gets inadvertently damaged. Here, he says that, no one even blinks an eye.
Looks. And we'll even go down to the dunes area. I'll show you where the dunes look. So when you see that video and you see the, oh man, the game looks like shit, it's a scam. No, it's not. It very obviously is not. So we'll go down from the Utah looking area and we'll go down here into the kind of like dunes, the actual dunes. The only thing I can think of is it's pre-alpha footage or PTR footage, man, because nothing in the game looks like what he showed. See, even the dunes area isn't just...
If Narc actually did show, by the way, PTR footage or alpha footage, not what currently is in the game, considering what he said, that is definitely a bad look through. That is 100% a bad look. But that's why this whole situation is just insane and stupid, because no side is actually, like, right. All sides are just like, oh yeah, it's kind of there, but it isn't, and there's, like, rights and wrongs on each side. And it's just like, pick a side at this point, and that's it.
Just flat sand. It's like, it transitions out of these areas and then goes into actual, like, waving dunes with enemies on it and shit. So, like, it doesn't even look like that either. You can see it's actually, like, dunes through this whole thing.
Yeah, but there's literally nothing there. That is kind of, well, if he's trying to show empty nothingness here and say that Narc lied, he's not actually doing a good job. Now, admittedly, in Narc's video, I don't remember, could you actually see enemies? But the thing about Ashes of Creation's enemies is, I'm almost 100% confident I can just Google Unreal 5 engine, add enemies everywhere based on distance or something like that, and find a 5-minute tutorial that's gonna teach me how to populate the whole map with enemies with some distance between them. I can guarantee you, I can do that. I'm almost 100% sure I can do that. I can find it on YouTube. And this is all that the desert currently has. There's just a bunch of enemies populated with equal distances from one another everywhere. That is really, really bad.
Which is correct. That's what dunes should look like. This was his video for this, where he's just showing like the big flat space over and over, and he's like, oh, the whole desert looks this way. No, it doesn't.
That's also a disingenuous way to show it, because you can see a lot of dunes. This is when he turns back and the dunes haven't started. So this is, again, I think this is blatantly disingenuous, because he's talking about a different thing. You could see the dunes, by the way, previously. Somewhere here. Oh, wait, let me click on it. See, you can see the dunes. Admittedly, it's verse, and there's some kind of stupid effect there. But you could. You could.
Asmoran, south of the town, because I think that's the crossroads for Asmoran before the town actually gets made. And I think I know exactly where this is. And I'll show you what it looks like.
Yeah, probably here would be my guess. I mean, it's really not that hard. Worst case scenario, somewhere like here.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet that it's this area here where the town is now. So he was in the node before the town had actually spawned in the node, in probably Alpha 2 Phase 1 before this node existed. That's my guess, because it actually has the cutout here for the node. That's the only thing I can think of. Which is, yeah, look, you can even see this is actually right here. See the map edge? See that? Up here on the top right? And we can go look at the map edge in his video, right here below. Yep. That's exactly what it is. He was on a unbuilt node before Phase 2. Before Alpha 2 Phase 2, on an unbuilt node. Of course there's not going to be anything there. That's where the town goes. Like, oh man, there's nothing. I can't believe there's nothing in this video game. Oh, don't look back here. Oh, I can't believe there's nothing there. In the area of the map that is undeveloped, because it...
Well, this is technically, by the way, developed. But there's, again, I mean, there is nothing there, objectively. This area right here that we are seeing right in front, technically, I think should exist based on the mini-map.
Literally goes out of bounds. Oh man, there's nothing. I can't believe it. Copium Kitty Club doesn't exist in Alpha 2, so it's 100% a Phase 1 character in a Phase 1 zone. Yeah, and that's the thing, is we...
That does make Knock look, by the way, really bad, if that's true.
Knew that there weren't nodes out here in Phase 1. We knew that they were adding these nodes in Phase 2. This whole area was unfinished, empty area in Phase 1.
I don't know about you, but I would still call it unfinished and empty.
Added all of this in Phase 2, which means the game came out in Phase 1. This area was undeveloped, and then they added it 2 months later. And they just keep doing that. Video was uploaded 3 days ago. You probably had the footage from Alpha.
Keep it also in mind 2 months ago. Again.
Phase 1. And he's given a disingenuous look of what the game actually looks like. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. The way that I always feel about this is this. You can absolutely be mad about games. You can absolutely be angry about development processes. You can actually do that. Nothing wrong with that. But be honest about it. Be angry about the things that actually suck. Don't make things up just so you can be mad. And everything that I saw in his video for this looks like scenarios like that, which is, oh man, the desert's flat and empty. Don't mind that I didn't turn around and see the rest of the entirety of the environment.
Yeah, again, in which you can't literally do anything. But, again, Ashes of Creation fanboys are going to be like, oh, but it's, in 10 years you will. Okay? Listen, let me tell you what well, actually, let's finish this, and then let me tell you what I think is going to kill Ashes of Creation, okay?
That looks awesome as shit. It's being angry for the sake of being angry. And I think that that is incredibly disingenuous. It's not fair to the devs. It's not fair to the rest of the community that actually likes this game. And you guys can now see that this environment doesn't look anything like it did in his video whatsoever. And this is what we've been playing the whole time. Even the minimap looks great. It's all right. Like, there's some stuff that doesn't work on the minimap yet. Like, it doesn't abide by the seasons. Like, we're in the middle of summer right now. In 9 days, it becomes fall, and the whole map changes. But the minimap doesn't change for that yet. And the world map doesn't change for that yet. Yeah, I'm going to be super serious with you guys right now. Do not go and harass Narc as a content creator. Don't do that. Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, again. But let me tell you what I don't like about Ashes of Creation. Let me explain, okay? This is the Ashes of Creation map. All of this is supposed to be playable when the game launches. Now, remember scale? I told you to remember a couple of things about scale, so let me introduce you to fucking scale, okay? Where do you think all of the playable stuff in Ashes of Creation currently is? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's roughly here. See that? My cursor barely moves. Oh yes. Now, if you pay attention, you can see that there are these there's this grid, and this is like 1 cube of the grid. What we are currently seeing in the Ashes of Creation is, I don't even know how much that is, like 1/30th of the entire of the cube, not even the entire grid of the fucking cube. Okay, we are seeing, and it's even not even in a playable state. There's a lot of things missing. Events don't work, and all of this doesn't work. And you need to pay 150 to 250 or however much money to get into that. And this is not even 1/30th of a cube, and the things in there are not finished, and they're bad. And most people who play it and don't know anything about Ashes of Creation, they even just say, wow, this is a bad experience. But keep in mind, when Ashes of Creation launches, all of this needs to be available. If what Pirate Nation mentioned about the desert right here, that, you know, this much, aka 1/1000 of the desert took them 2 months to implement. What kind of time scale are we looking here? What time scale are we looking here? Honestly, okay. Listen, my grandchildren are gonna be able to enjoy Star Citizen, but when it comes to Ashes of Creation, honestly, I think my grandchildren are maybe going to be able to buy the Alpha 275 key for 5,000 euros and maybe enjoy like one whole block of this. And by the way, how much is one block? Well, when you count this up, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, this is around 10. So this is what? 20? Maybe let's say 30. So this is like 30 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 30 wide by 20 high. How much is that? That's around 600 of these blocks. Now, granted, let's say half of it is water. Okay, half of it is water. So 300 blocks need to be made for this game to be fully playable and fleshed out as Ashes of Creation wants. And again, how much do we have currently playable? Well, we have roughly, I don't know, like 1/20th, 1/30th of a single fucking block playable, and even that is not ready because even what we currently have is not actually fully developed. Then you're talking about things like instances and whatnot that are not visible here at all, that require more development. Like, honestly, when is Ashes of Creation going to be playable, in your opinion? 2 years? 2 months? 5 years? 10 years? Or maybe 40 years at this point? Because Ashes of Creation looks like something that's going to take 40 years to finish at this point. And couple that with all of those great situations where they're selling those 150, 250 alpha, beta, or whatever the fuck keys, and then they're stopping the sales because their reasoning is, well, we don't want to pay too much in server fees. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? World of Warcraft launched with literally millions of people playing who paid less than the keys are worth. And there was no problem. But you are now, you have less players on servers to sustain, and they are paying more per person? And you're saying it's too expensive? And you're stopping it? And then you're restarting it after the hype goes up again? Get the fuck out. That is just scumbag behavior, honestly, in my opinion. That is just pure fear of missing out at that point. That is pure hype selling. Yeah. I mean, damn. And people defend Ashes of Creation. I mean, when is this game... When do you think this game is going to be playable? If you're an Ashes of Creator defender, tell me when do you think this is going to be playable, and then minus, like, you know, at least 7 missed deadlines, because we already have, like, 2 or 3 maybe missed deadlines about things when things are supposed to roll out, missed by, like, months and years. I don't know. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Anyway, that was Pirate Software video. 10 out of 10. Bye!